Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn from 1987. Welcome back to the Act of Violence channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 1998 Video Treasures release of Evil Dead 2 on VHS. This is actually a widescreen VHS, which I think is pretty cool. It's the collector's edition, and it has Roger Ebert giving it 3 stars right on the front. We're going to talk about my thoughts on the movie and this VHS copy itself. Evil Dead 2 is often regarded as the best Evil Dead in the franchise. If you talk to people about Evil Dead 2 is definitely going to be in the conversation. And what's interesting about that is, the younger generation I think seems to find the remake to be the best one. But most people who grew up watching these movies agree that Evil Dead 2 is the best. Now there's some very confusing stuff about this movie. Is it a remake? Is it a sequel? Well, if you're a diehard fan, you probably know by now. You've seen the Bruce Campbell explanation.
People think that Ash, the character Ash, was stupid enough to go back to the cabin with a new group of friends.
He essentially explains that they did not have the rights to the first Evil Dead. So because of that, they reshot and summed up the first movie in the first 10 minutes of this one.
So there's a big debate of is Evil Dead 2 a remake or a sequel?
Bruce explains it better than I can in this clip.
You take the first Evil Dead up to where the evil entity hits me, cut off all the recap, go right into Ash being thrown through the trees at the beginning, lands, play the movie. It would all make perfect sense.
So let's go ahead and throw the tape in and take a look at this thing. Video Treasures with the Please Adjust tracking for Best Picture bumper. There's a few company logos and we get right into the movie. Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. I mean, what, I'm supposed to sit here on YouTube and be the 10,000th person to blow Bruce Campbell? If I must. Bruce Campbell is essentially doing a one-man show in this movie. You could have put him on a stage and just had a lot of prop people and puppeteers and stuff like that, and just thrown an occasional person with some makeup on, and it'd be basically a Bruce Campbell one-man show. Especially the scenes when he's fighting himself. Bruce Campbell is handsome. He's funny. He is lovable. And I want to point out that this is where we get the real Ash, is Evil Dead 2. The first Evil Dead, he's less fleshed out. He's more of a typical person. He's not as Ash, you know what I mean? But throughout this movie, he becomes the Ash we know and love. This is where he gets the iconic chainsaw hand. There's a lot of slapstick and Three Stooges influence in this, and you can tell Sam Raimi did that on purpose. Let's talk about a few of my favorite comedy bits. So, when he goes to grab the chainsaw, he's going to cut up Linda's head, right? He's in the shed, he looks over, he's going to grab the chainsaw. In true Looney Tune fashion, there's just a blank spot where you could see it used to be, and this is immediately followed by chaos where Linda's body comes in with the chainsaw trying to kill Ash. Another one of my favorite lines is when he's looking in the mirror and he's holding his hands up against the side of the mirror, and he jumps at himself through the mirror and grabs his shoulders and is talking to himself.
I don't think so. We just cut up our girlfriend with a chainsaw. Does that sound bye?
And then he's in the kitchen kicking his own ass. And this scene is hilarious. The only scene that rivals this where somebody's beating the crap out of themselves is Liar Liar.
I'm kicking my ass! Do you mind?
The cherry on top of the comedy bits in this movie, the eyeball popping out, being followed by the camera into the girl's mouth. The camera work on this movie is unmatched. It's like Three Stooges meets the 60s Batman meets horror. It's fun to watch. It's like being in a funhouse. The effects. The effects are awesome. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite effects in this movie. The dancing Linda corpse is beautiful, comedic, and dark. I love it. There's something about it, you know? I think the general look of the Deadites is improved in this movie. They were using stuff like cornflakes. They were so broke in the first movie. I love the effect of the blood pouring into the cabin and Ash just freaking out and it turns black and sort of gets sucked back out. Then when the deer head on the wall starts laughing and everything starts laughing and Ash starts laughing. Henrietta and the big monster effect at the end. Like, these things make Evil Dead 2. You need Bruce Campbell and you need these effects, this camera work. Like, all of this works together and makes it this package. And, you know, this movie's not for everyone. There's certainly lots of horror fans even out there that don't like this movie, or don't care for Evil Dead in general. Personally, I'm a big fan. I think I probably like the first one a tad bit more than this one, though. I'm not sure. I think I go back on that quite often, because they're both great. I think Evil Dead is one of the strongest franchises out there. I think all the movies are pretty great. I'm very interested to see what we have going forward with the Evil Dead franchise. Finally, at the end of Evil Dead 2 on VHS, there is a trailer for Evil Dead 2.
That's the only special feature at the end of the movie. Overall, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan in general, so like I said, this goes back and forth with the first one as being my favorite. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and give it a 3.5 out of 5 hearts, because I love it. Let me know what you think of Evil Dead 2 below in the comments. And if you like this video, check out my review of Evil Dead on VHS, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.